As we grow older, many of us become more proactive about our health. We start taking walks, eating better, and yes, reaching for supplements. After all, vitamins have long been seen as little capsules of health, safe, natural, and essential. But what if I told you that some of the vitamins you've been faithfully taking might actually be working against you? What if they were quietly eroding your muscle strength, especially in your legs, the very foundation of your mobility and independence? Seniors, stop taking these 3 vitamins. They are destroying your leg strength. It sounds dramatic, but the science behind it is real, and the consequences can be more serious than you think. Leg strength is not just about being able to stand up from a chair or climb stairs. It's about maintaining balance, preventing falls, and preserving your freedom. And yet, more and more seniors are reporting issues like muscle weakness, cramps, and instability, while still taking daily vitamins that are supposed to help them stay strong. The truth is, your body changes with age. Your metabolism slows down, your kidneys filter differently, and your muscles respond differently to nutrients and supplements. What once might have been beneficial at 40 or 50 can become problematic at 65, 70, or beyond. In this video, we're going to look closely at 3 common vitamins, ones that many older adults take without question, and explore how they may actually be undermining your leg strength. I'm not here to scare you, but I am here to inform you. So, if you've ever felt that your legs just don't feel as steady as they used to, or if you've been struggling with unexplained weakness despite staying active, the answer might be hiding in your supplement cabinet. Let's take a closer look at what's really going on. Before we dive into the specific vitamins you need to be careful with, it's important to understand why leg strength becomes such a vulnerable area as we age. Many older adults assume that losing strength is just part of getting older. And to some degree, that's true. But the rate and severity of that loss can be drastically influenced by your lifestyle, your nutrition, and yes, even by the supplements you're taking. That's why the message of this video, seniors, stop taking these 3 vitamins. They are destroying your leg strength. Isn't just about what to avoid, but about understanding what your aging body really needs. As we enter our 60s, 70s, and beyond, our muscles naturally begin to shrink in a process called sarcopenia. This is the gradual loss of muscle mass and function, and it can start as early as your 50s. While exercise plays a key role in slowing this process, nutrition has an equally important impact, especially when it comes to how your muscles receive and process key nutrients. Certain vitamins, particularly when taken in excess or in the wrong form, can disrupt that delicate balance. Your legs are especially vulnerable because they support your entire body weight and are constantly engaged in keeping you stable. Weakness in this area often leads to poor balance, slower reaction times, and a higher risk of falls, a major health concern for seniors. What's alarming is that some of the very supplements marketed as essential for aging can actually interfere with muscle function, nerve communication, and calcium balance in ways that make your legs feel heavier, slower, or even unsteady. On top of that, as we age, our kidneys and liver don't process vitamins the same way they used to. This means that even moderate doses of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, and E can build up in the body over time, potentially leading to toxicity or functional imbalances. That's when helpful becomes harmful. So before you pop your next daily supplement, take a moment to ask, is this really helping my legs stay strong, or could it be quietly weakening them? If you're enjoying this video, just give it a thumbs up. In the next section, we'll look at the first of 3 vitamins that might be doing more harm than good. Let's begin with a vitamin that has long enjoyed a reputation as a powerful antioxidant and heart protector, vitamin E. For years, it's been promoted as a supplement that helps fight aging, improves skin health, boosts immunity, and even protects against heart disease. And while there is some truth to those claims in specific contexts, the reality is that for older adults, especially those taking high doses regularly, vitamin E might be doing more harm than good. In fact, it's one of the key reasons behind our message today. Seniors, stop taking these 3 vitamins. They are destroying your leg strength. Vitamin E is fat-soluble, which means it gets stored in the body's fat tissues and liver. Unlike water-soluble vitamins such as B or C, which are excreted in urine when taken in excess, vitamin E accumulates in your system. This can lead to a state of imbalance, particularly when it's being consumed in supplement form on top of a regular diet that already provides enough of it. And that's where the problems begin. When taken in high doses over time, vitamin E can interfere with how your muscles and nerves communicate. Several clinical studies have shown that excessive intake of vitamin E can impair muscle function, especially in the lower body. You may feel more fatigued after walking, have difficulty rising from a chair, or even experience mild coordination issues. In some cases, it can lead to what we call myopathy, which is a general weakening of muscle tissue. This is especially concerning in seniors whose leg muscles are already more susceptible to age-related decline. The underlying issue is that while vitamin E does act as an antioxidant, large doses can start to disrupt the body's natural oxidative balance. This may sound counterintuitive. After all, aren't antioxidants supposed to protect us from damage? They are, but only in appropriate amounts. Your body actually needs a certain level of oxidative activity to maintain muscle contraction and cellular signaling. When you flood your system with too many antioxidants, it can blunt these critical processes. The result is reduced muscle performance, slower recovery from activity, and, in some cases, increased risk of falls. Adding to this concern is the way many vitamin E supplements are manufactured. They often contain a synthetic form of the vitamin known as DL-alpha-tocopherol, which doesn't have the same biological activity as the natural form. This synthetic variant may not be as well absorbed or utilized, and it could even block the uptake of other important forms of vitamin E that your body actually needs. Now, it's important to note that vitamin E itself isn't inherently bad. We all need it in small amounts for proper immune function and cell repair. You can get it safely through foods like almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, and avocado. But problems start when people assume that more is always better. For many seniors, especially those who are otherwise healthy and eating a balanced diet, supplementing with extra vitamin E offers little to no added benefit and potentially real risk. So, if you're taking a daily multivitamin or a standalone vitamin E supplement, I urge you to check the label. If it contains more than 200 IU of vitamin E, especially in synthetic form, it's worth having a conversation with your doctor. Your legs, your balance, and your overall mobility may depend on it. In the next section, we'll take a closer look at another common vitamin that's often promoted for eye health, but may be quietly contributing to muscle weakness, vitamin A. The next vitamin we need to talk about is one that's often associated with eye health and immune support, vitamin A. Many older adults take it in hopes of preserving vision, fighting off infections, or simply supporting overall wellness. But few realize that when taken in the wrong amounts or in the wrong form, vitamin A can actually contribute to a subtle but significant weakening of the muscles, particularly in the lower body. Once again, this brings us back to the core message of today's discussion. Seniors, stop taking these 3 vitamins. They are destroying your leg strength. Vitamin A plays a critical role in the body. It supports vision, helps maintain healthy skin and mucous membranes, and contributes to immune defense. However, it is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means that, like vitamin E, it gets stored in the liver and can build up to harmful levels if consumed in excess. This is particularly relevant for older adults whose liver function may not be as efficient as it once was. Over time, this buildup can lead to a condition known as vitamin A toxicity, or hypervitaminosis A, which has direct consequences for your muscles and bones. One of the lesser-known effects of too much vitamin A is muscle pain and weakness. It often starts subtly, a feeling that your legs tire more easily or that climbing stairs seems harder than it used to. Over time, the muscle fibers themselves may begin to atrophy, particularly in the thighs and calves, leading to real functional decline. Clinical reports and studies have linked excessive vitamin A intake to decreased muscle strength, sluggish reflexes, and even coordination problems. In severe cases, it can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and an increased risk of falling. What makes this especially tricky is that vitamin A is present in two primary forms: one that's derived from animal sources, retinol, and one that comes from plant-based carotenoids like beta-carotene. The risk lies mainly with preformed vitamin A or retinol, which is found in supplements, liver, and fortified foods. Unlike beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A as needed, retinol is absorbed directly and can build up quickly. Many multivitamins marketed to seniors contain high levels of retinol, sometimes exceeding the recommended daily intake by 2 or even 3 times. And here's another point to consider. Many people are already getting sufficient vitamin A through their diet without realizing it. Foods like dairy products, eggs, liver, and even fortified breakfast cereals all contain preformed vitamin A. When you add a daily supplement on top of that, the total intake can easily cross into the danger zone. The threshold for toxicity is relatively low when it comes to long-term use, especially for adults over 65. Muscle health is deeply tied to nutrient balance. Too little vitamin A can lead to problems, but too much can be just as harmful. If you've been noticing a gradual loss of strength in your legs, difficulty with balance, or unexplained fatigue, even if you're staying active, it's worth considering whether your supplement routine might be playing a part. The good news is that this problem is entirely avoidable. Instead of reaching for a high-dose vitamin A supplement, focus on getting carotenoid-rich foods like carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and kale. These are safer sources because your body will only convert what it needs. And more importantly, speak with your doctor before continuing or starting any vitamin A supplementation. A simple blood test can tell you whether you're getting too much and help you adjust accordingly. Next, we'll turn to a vitamin that's widely praised for supporting bones, yet when taken in excess, can disrupt calcium balance and actually weaken your muscles. Let's talk about vitamin D. Of all the vitamins that have gained popularity in recent years, vitamin D stands out as a favorite among both doctors and patients. It's commonly recommended for bone health, immune function, and even mood regulation. Many older adults have been told, sometimes by well-meaning professionals, that they need to take high doses of vitamin D to prevent fractures and stay strong. But here's what often gets left out of the conversation. Too much vitamin D, especially when taken long-term without proper monitoring, can disrupt your body's delicate balance and contribute to muscle weakness, cramps, and even falls. This is why the warning still applies. Seniors, stop taking these 3 vitamins. They are destroying your leg strength. To understand how this happens, we need to take a closer look at what vitamin D actually does. Its primary role is to help your body absorb calcium, a mineral that's essential for healthy bones and muscle contraction. On the surface, that sounds like a good thing. After all, strong bones and active muscles go hand in hand. But like so many things in medicine, more is not always better. When you take high doses of vitamin D, especially over several months or years, you run the risk of absorbing too much calcium from your diet or supplements. This can lead to a condition called hypercalcemia, too much calcium in the blood. While most people associate calcium with bones, excess calcium can actually deposit in soft tissues, including the muscles, where it can interfere with normal function. This often shows up as muscle cramping, stiffness, weakness, or even episodes of muscle fatigue after mild activity. Seniors are particularly vulnerable to this effect. As we age, our kidneys don't regulate calcium and vitamin D as efficiently as they once did. That means even moderate supplementation, say 2,000 IU or more per day, can begin to tip the scales over time. The body may not give off clear warning signs until the effects are already impacting mobility and strength. Some patients describe feeling heavy in their legs, or that their balance feels slightly off. Others notice they fatigue faster or have trouble recovering from basic exercises, like walking or climbing stairs. It's important to note that vitamin D deficiency is real, and it can cause its own set of problems, including bone loss and muscle pain. But the answer isn't to swing to the opposite extreme. In recent years, some trends have encouraged people to take 5,000 IU or even 10,000 IU of vitamin D daily. Doses that were once considered therapeutic, but are now being used as routine maintenance. This kind of approach, without blood testing and medical supervision, can create a new set of health risks that cancel out any benefit. There is also growing evidence suggesting that very high levels of vitamin D might reduce muscle strength in older adults, even if blood calcium remains normal. One large study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that seniors who took high doses of vitamin D had no additional benefit to their muscle function and, in some cases, had worse performance compared to those taking standard doses. In other words, more vitamin D didn't make them stronger. In fact, it made them slightly weaker. If you're currently supplementing with vitamin D, take a moment to check the dose. Most older adults need somewhere between 600 to 800 IU daily, possibly up to 1,000 IU if they're deficient. But anything beyond that should only be taken under medical supervision. Ask your doctor to test your 25-hydroxy vitamin D levels before making any changes. And remember, vitamin D can also be safely obtained through brief, sensible sun exposure and foods like fatty fish, fortified dairy, and eggs. In our final segment, we'll put everything together and talk about smarter, safer ways to support your leg strength and maintain your independence as you age. Now that we've explored the surprising ways certain vitamins, when taken in excess, can work against your leg strength, it's time to shift gears and talk about solutions. Because the good news is that even if you've unknowingly been taking the wrong supplements, there are practical, science-backed ways to rebuild and protect your lower body strength. The question many patients ask me is, how can you protect your leg strength safely? And the answer, thankfully, is simpler than most people think. First, start by reevaluating your supplement routine. More is not always better, and with fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, and E, less can often be safer. Talk to your doctor about whether you actually need these supplements and in what dose. A simple blood test can reveal whether your vitamin D or vitamin A levels are low. And from there, your provider can recommend a more tailored and safe plan. In many cases, reducing or stopping high-dose supplements can lead to a noticeable improvement in energy, balance, and overall leg function within weeks. Next, turn your attention to what you can control every day: your movement and your meals. Regular low-impact strength training is one of the most effective ways to preserve and even regain muscle mass in your legs. You don't need a gym membership. Nutrition also plays a critical role. Instead of relying on isolated vitamin pills, focus on whole foods that provide a balanced range of nutrients. Lean proteins like eggs, chicken, and beans help repair and rebuild muscle. Leafy greens like spinach and kale offer magnesium and potassium. two minerals vital for muscle contraction and energy. And don't forget hydration. Dehydrated muscles are more prone to cramping and fatigue. So, make sure you're drinking enough water, especially if you're active or taking medications that affect fluid levels. Finally, make sleep and recovery a priority. Your muscles don't get stronger while you're working out, they get stronger while you rest. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night, and listen to your body if it needs a slower pace on certain days. So, let's bring everything together. Over the course of this discussion, we've looked closely at a surprising but important truth. Certain vitamins that are often marketed as essential for aging, may actually be working against your health when taken in high doses. Seniors, stop taking these 3 vitamins. They are destroying your leg strength, not because vitamins themselves are inherently harmful, but because balance matters. Vitamin E, vitamin A, and high-dose vitamin D can silently weaken your legs, reduce coordination, and increase your risk of falling, all while you believe you're protecting your health. The most important takeaway is this: protecting your strength as you age doesn't come from megadoses or miracle pills. It comes from smart decisions, regular movement, and paying attention to what your body is telling you. If you've been feeling unsteady on your feet, more tired after walking, or simply not as strong as you used to be, it's time to re-examine your supplement routine. Talk to your healthcare provider. Ask for the tests that can give you real answers. And if you're taking any of these 3 vitamins without clear evidence that you need them, it may be time to stop. But don't stop there. Take action. Replace high-dose supplements with safer, food-based choices. Build a simple strength routine that fits into your lifestyle. Prioritize recovery, hydration, and real nutrition. Your legs carry the weight of your life. Every step, every moment of independence, every visit with family, every walk outdoors. They deserve to be protected, not just with good intentions, but with the right information and thoughtful care. You have more control than you think. It's never too late to make a change that improves your balance, your strength, and your confidence. Take that first step today. Review your vitamins, adjust your habits, and most importantly, don't be afraid to ask questions. Your future is still yours to shape, one strong step at a time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you keep getting daily health tips to live longer.